this over here is now finally done. This is what I would call the Bumblebee PC. As you can see, there's a little collar over here and a paint job over there, and just a lot of things has happened since the PC was actually built, and then we did like all the testing and then paint job and things like that. Now we're gonna rewind in a moment, and then I'm gonna show you how all this happened and how we encountered a lot of problems and how we solved them. So if you're interested in knowing like what happened and why is it taking so long, then definitely stay tuned. But this PC is going to Michael, who is from One Off Comedy. So if you're interested in like checking some English comedy, then check out One Off Comedy, because this PC is going for them. This is their project, and I'm very happy that this is finally done. This yellow represents like their color theme. So let's rewind now in a moment, go back and show you how it all started, and you can see in my face probably flipping heck, there was a lot of problems. So let's get those problems solved right after this.
If you're looking for a cheap Windows 10 OEM license, then look no further. Bobkeys.com is a website where you can purchase all sorts of keys and licenses for very affordable prices. With a Tech Notice discount, you'll be able to get the Windows 10 Pro license 25% off. To purchase the license, click on the link in the description or search for Windows 10 license on Bobkeys.com. Then add the product to the cart and press proceed checkout. Remember to add the 25% discount code and complete the order. Once you have the license key, click here, paste in the license, and you're all done. Check out bobkeys.com in the description below.
So there is another project of a PC build over here. This over here is the Threadripper system. Let me take the glass off so you can see what's happening over here. We have an RTX 3070. We have a Threadripper 24 core, a Threadripper, not Threadripper Pro. We have 128 gigabytes of RAM, and the whole like theme for this PC is yellow and black. You know, the little RGB that we have over here is configured yellow, but I want to give a little bit of an extra touch to the case. We also have a few more extra fans that we're going to install for this, because the build video for this is done for now. But I'm gonna, after testing this for a little bit, it needs a little bit more airflow. This is Fractal Design Meshify S2. So the included fans, they're just like, I know they're very quiet, but they don't produce a lot of you know, airflow either. So we have something better over there. We've got a few more extra fans. We're going to install that later. But so here's what I'm thinking. So I just want to have a little bit more yellow accents in the case, not just black. All of these are knobs for like a thumb screws. I want to paint all of these yellow as well. Then on the top, we have the power button and the reset button. I'm gonna have to figure out how we can pull this apart and paint that yellow and then the reset button yellow. Also, as you can see from the top over here, like this panel over here, if I open this up here, you can see underneath through the glass, there's like a mesh of like a spider web. It's pretty cool, but I want to paint that one yellow, which means I'm gonna have to rip that metal cover off from the top over here, and then underneath there is this plastic. So we're gonna paint this plastic yellow, and then we're gonna do the same from the top, from the front, because the front panel is literally the same. And on this side, on the back panel of the case, I'm gonna do the same. So these thumb screws, they're gonna go yellow, and then these 2.5 SSD brackets, they're gonna go completely yellow as well. And then these hard drive trays, we're gonna paint those yellow as well, just a little bit of an extra accent. First of all, I'm gonna start with the front panel. I'm gonna see if I can get this front panel removed, and then the rest of it is actually gonna be much more easier. Okay, that was quite interesting. The front panel comes out in like lots of different pieces. So we got both the buttons out, as you can see over here. I've got my little, this is the big power button, and this is the smaller reset button, so we can paint them all yellow. Let's get a few more bits out, and then I'm gonna go outside and start painting. Like my little spray paint booth over here. So we're gonna spray some parts over here, and this is the little time lapse of it. look at this now. This looks pretty nice. If you see, you can see like the yellow, like a spider web thing over there, and we've got some yellow buttons as well. So we're gonna do a little bit of a fan change. We're gonna change these fans, take these out, and then add 3 in here. This case has an option to put 340mm fans in the front here, and that is exactly what we're gonna do. So look, this is my DIY dryer. This is the top like frame or the top grill for the top of the case. These are the hard drive bays, and this is the 2.5-inch SSD tray over here. Just, you know, on the radiator, slowly drying over here before the coats. These need a few more coats like on the other side, as you can see. This over here isn't as nice yellow or as deep yellow as that one, and this one as well. But look, it's getting there. Here's another 2.5-inch SSD drying. While we're waiting between the coats, let's also put in 2 top fans, because there's 2 more of these same ones that we're going to put in the front, or that we did, and then 1 more exhausting from there. So basically 3 intake and then 3 out. Another day for me. We're going to continue with the build. Overnight I let these few things dry out. So I had these HDD cases over here, and they're looking pretty good, except this one over here I think is gonna need 1 more little coat, which I'm gonna do now before installing all the rest, because I don't know if you can see this on camera, but this yellow is much more lighter than the other one. So you can see they're a little bit different. This front mesh really works, and then now we've got the top mesh done as well, yellow. So we're gonna put the top mesh back on. Another thing that I have done is I've taken like this foam thing out from the front, because first of all it kind of blocks the airflow. I know this is not very good for the dust inside, because there's no like real dust filter, but it is like a small mesh over here, so you know, it gets some of the bigger bits out, but the fine dust still gets in, which it would get in regardless. But I just thought this would look so much better, and the airflow is going to be so much better. So it's been actually over 2 weeks since the last part of this video, because I was waiting for this part to arrive from Fractal Design. Basically, when I was removing the front panel, I accidentally broke this little part over here. This is the front panel LED, and as you can see, like these cables accidentally snapped. But the part that the Fractal Design sent me over here is not the same as this one. As you can see, they're not even the same size, and it doesn't fit into that small hole over there. So the part that they sent me, I'm gonna have to customize it a little bit, pull the LEDs out and see if we can use this plastic see-through bit over here, but replace the LEDs. So let's do that now. I used a little bit of this glue gun, and as you can see, this bit here is now done. So I've attached the new LEDs here, glued them in. I'm gonna have to cut a little bit of the glue on the side off. Now let's replace it in the case. Okay, I am quite happy about this front panel here now, because finally the front panel is on, and check these out. These buttons are on as well, and they all absolutely awesome. Like just a little touch that just makes it a little bit more special. presses on. Oh, it's just beautiful. Okay, here's like a little thing that I need to do. So basically, this sag bracket, I'd still like to use it over here because, as you can see, the sag is quite a bit. But if you put the graphics card in this like slot over there, which obviously we have, you know, the Wi-Fi adapter is over there, and then the 10 gig is over there, then this is just not fitting down there. So what we need to do is just angle grind a little bit of the bottom off from this, and then we can fit this one in. So let's go do that now. Okay, so this bit is grinded off. There is a little scratch on over here, as you can see, which I didn't expect to happen, but you know, one of the things, which actually led me to another point. See, this dipped in like little triangle over here, and then that bit. I'm gonna paint those yellow and then the rest of it matte black. So we're gonna do a little bit of a better paint job over here, sand these bits off so they look a little bit nicer. And then, as you can see, now it's gonna fit in there. So a bit of sanding and painting for this. Okay, so while my GPU sag bracket is actually drying over there, what we can do, fix or finish off this side of the case, finish off some of the cable management, and put all of our yellow hard drive trays back. So let's start with that. Look at this cable management and all this yellow and black. I'm quite happy how the back looks like. So we can finally put this cover on. So with this build, it's like one step forward and then 2 steps back. It takes quite a while. So basically, I got the bracket grinded, as you can see. So I got it repainted. I didn't paint it yellow and black because I just didn't have the tools, the right tools to do it. So I'm just gonna paint it black, which looks very cool as well. But basically, the power supply from Corsair is actually faulty. You know, according to Corsair. So this has to go back. So we're gonna have to take this out, put it in the box, send it back, and wait for a replacement. So the graphics card on this side of the case then now is done. As you can see, I didn't paint these yellow in the end, but like the paint that's underneath left a really nice texture on it that makes it look really cool. Like a little bit of like a scratched metal type of texture, but it's all black in here. We've got the PSU extension cables for the graphics card over here going quite straight down, and then this actually cleans up the case as well. It's kind of like, that's how the sag bracket should actually be there, you know, on all nicely like supporting this GPU. So there is not a sag. Looks very nice. So now we're just waiting for the replacement power supply, and then it is done. So we might be finally able to actually finish this PC build. So Corsair finally sent a replacement for the RM1000x power supply, but they didn't have RM1000x, they had HX supply. But the cool thing is this is 80 plus platinum, not 80 plus gold, which means this is just more efficient power supply, which, you know, is a little thumbs up. It's basically a little upgrade. So also because the Fractal Design, remember we did the little LED lights differently? Basically, because Fractal Design or Corsair took so long to come here with the replacement, Fractal Design's replacement actually arrived. So we're gonna change that LED light as well with the replacement. So then finally this is ready. So let's start with the final little stretch and then this PC is ready. Okay, so this is the moment of truth. It's all done now. Change the LED, the PSU is in. So let's see if we can turn it on. Okay, and voila, look at that. So hello again, this is another day. And remember we changed the power supply to the new power supply, Corsair power supply. Well, it turns out that that power supply either has the same problem or something else is causing the problem, so the problem still persists. Just a little update like what we have done. So I tried the previous power supply and this one now to run without the power supply, without the GPU, without plugging it in like inside the case, running it outside the case, running it from different outlet socket in the house. So I ran an extension to a completely different outlet in the house and then ran it from there. The problem still occurs. So either I am extremely lucky and getting these maybe a bit faulty power supplies for this PC. So that's why you're wondering, why is there another power supply over here? Well, we're gonna give another go with a different power supply. This is from EVGA. So we're changing the brands. Let's see if that is any different. I mean, it puzzles my mind. I don't know why would this be any different in this one, but let's give it another go and see if that could be the problem. So I have plugged in the power supply outside because there's no point of getting this one out if the problem persists. I'm still gonna plug this other one in just so that our case has a ground as well, because it gets it from this power supply. So I'm gonna plug the other one in as well. Our motherboard has been connected here, CPU power, GPU power, and then our SATA power. And that should be it. So the moment of truth, we're gonna flick that on. We've got a nice green EVGA logo over here. And let's hit the power button, see what happens. Okay. I mean, right now, this seems to have fixed it. Right now, this is completely quiet, okay? One thing I haven't done right now is that I haven't used the GPU extension cables, which shouldn't be a problem because this power supply made a noise even if the GPU wasn't plugged in, so the cables shouldn't matter. So right now, I mean, this is completely quiet. Like, it's making a little noise, but like, right now I can't hear it. I can only hear it if I put my ear completely to it. That's completely fine. I mean, looks like this could be it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slot that one in and then see if that fixes it. The other cool thing is that this EVGA power supply is actually smaller than the HX1000 power supply. Let's put it actually in the system now, into the case, and then see if there is any difference there. Okay, I think we have finally reached to the point where we are done. Okay, I might have to maybe configure these PCIe cables a little bit more and just make them look nicer, and so is the 24 pin over there. But other than that, we have no issues with the power supply anymore. Fourth power supply, and there we go. Just like thinking about here a little bit, like what could be the issue. I've used a lot of Corsair power supplies before, and none of them have made this issue. I've used the 1000 watt power supplies. I've always used them with these sockets over here. I've used the 850, 750, even 650 power supplies, and this has never been the issue with Corsair power supplies, and I've always recommended Corsair power supplies. So it looks like I have been extremely lucky and getting like a little off somehow power supplies. I've tested 3 Corsair power supplies, 1000 watt, 2 RM1000x power supplies, 1 HX1000 power supply, and now we went with the EVGA 1000 watt power supply, and this seems to be completely quiet. So I don't know if like Corsair maybe in the manufacturing like process or somehow how the power supply is made and this particular configuration just doesn't sit with each other somehow. But other than that, it absolutely puzzles my mind why this would be the issue. So this is a long journey of this Bumblebee power supply, and finally now this is completed. I very much like the paint job. I'm not sure if you do. Let me know if you do. If you like this video, you know what to do. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have any other questions, I'll meet you in the comments below. See you soon.